And we are live here at Watkins Glen International at, well, a track that's going to have right turns tonight. That's right. Road course here for the SAAC Coast to Coast Cup Series, guys. And they are already in qualifying. Group qualifying here tonight. 10 minutes. And we'll see who wins the pole here. Right now, Jordan Kuntz, I think he's the favorite. And we're going to watch him as he goes through turn 5, also known as the carousel. But I'm Joshua Copperdahl. I'm joined by Michael Kruger. Mikey, how you doing?
I'm doing great, Josh. I'm really looking forward to what's on display for tonight here in the SAAC Coast to Coast Cup Series here at Watkins Glen. I'm sure we're going to see a great show here tonight here following qualifying here in this 10-minute session.
Now, you know what's interesting? Actually, I see a great example back here. Brett Bennett, well, not exactly a great example, but I just was going to point out how he overshot turn 1. And, you know, one of the trickiest things here is getting into turn 1 and getting into turn 6. And I specifically mention that because the off-track limits, whereas there's no grass, it looks like you can really go out there pretty wide. But in reality, you don't want to. You see here, Dreddy Robinson, he goes through 1. He's on the complete right side of those rumble strips. Now, you can have about half your car over those rumble strips before it will count as a 1X. But you got to be careful doing that. The other one, as mentioned, is turn 6, which we're going to see Jordan Kuntz in a very terrible camera angle go through there. Such a shallow entry, but Devin Frank in the background, or exit rather for Frank, but Devin Frank in the background took it wider. Still, you can really send it into the corner. And again, you can give out half your car on those rumble strips. See, Larry Miles touching them just a little bit. That's okay. That's not going to invalidate your lap time. So that's one thing these guys got to be so careful on in these 10 minutes, not to invalidate their lap time.
I think that's a very great point right there, Josh, because, I mean, it's 10 minutes here, and you get an ample amount of chances here, which is the beauty of having a 10-minute qualifying session. And with it being grouped, you can run as many laps you want, but you can only run as many just as long as you're on track to be able to run them. And it's quite imperative to be able to not make a mistake, especially when we get to those final 2 to 3 minutes here, as we're a ways out. But you just got to make sure you don't make any mistakes, really. Don't get any off tracks, because that could take away your lap time. It doesn't matter if you're in the fastest lap or whatever, but you just cannot afford an off track at all, because it's going to be very costly here to have your lap taken away off an off track. And I'm pretty sure that's run through all these guys' head and what they're trying to avoid.
Now right here we see a blimp view. This is Dreddy Robinson coming out of the carousel, otherwise known as turn 5, and now he's heading down into turn 6. If you notice, Robinson was, he had all 4 tires to the left of the rumble strips outside of the carousel. That's okay. For some reason, that's not going to get you for an off track, even though you kind of can get a competitive advantage over others in that one, as opposed to turn 1 and turn 6, where if you just kind of look at it, you get an off track. I don't know iRacing rules, but that's how it is. So Robinson kind of showed an example there. He did nothing wrong. Just that is something that a lot of drivers, including myself, would actually do coming out of turn 5. And also, I'm noticing it's really been changing between Rivera's and Kuntz for the top spot. Right now, Rivera's about to cross the line. Is he able to do anything any faster? He's not. Currently, it's a 1:10.609 held by Jordan Kuntz, who is about to cross the line. Does he improve any? I think he was going a little bit too slow there to improve. Like Wyatt Roberts by.
maybe the reason why Kuntz may be coasting a little bit is he might be kind of. I mean, we know about how the next gens respond with tire wear here, and how you can basically go with no tires here, and it's actually faster not taking tires. Wonder if he's just kind of laying it easy a little bit and trying not to lay a faster lap because he's trying to monitor, see if anyone can top him, like Rivera's, and it's just kind of just awaiting to see if he's got to go out there and go really hard on a quality lap here to see if he has to run a faster lap to see if he can keep the pole position while Rivera's is trying to try to cut into Kuntz's pole lap.
Then there's me, who can drive road courses, just trying to figure out how a 110.609 is possible. Jordan Kuntz across the line once again. He's got just over 2 minutes. I don't know, he's picked up speed. Maybe he's seeing what he can actually do. Okay, his car stepped out just a little bit there on the curbs. Brett Bennett, currently 14th. Make that 13th.
Cody Rivera is making his rounds off the final corner here. Here with about a minute 30 left in qualifying. He's gonna put a lap not fast enough here as we're getting into that range, Josh, so you better make sure you cross the start-finish line because we're running out of time here to set one more lap here. And the pressure's starting to set in for some guys here as a last-second ditch effort to try to improve your starting spot by putting a faster lap down as we're about to cross the minute here. As we've seen in the quality laps, it takes a minute 10 or so, or a minute 11, minute 12 to be able to run at least a hot lap for some people here as the time is now basically if like you didn't start a lap or if you don't get to that line soon enough, you're not going to be able to have a chance to improve your spot here with time running down here.
Yeah, Cody Rivera's crossed the line with about a minute 30 left. That means he should have plenty of time to finish here and get one more lap in. One thing about the road courses that is different with qualifying is once time is expired, you are still able to finish your lap. So right here, Cody Rivera's going to cross the line. There's 18 seconds left. Make that 15 at the line. He'll be able to complete this lap regardless. And still not an improvement. Actually, that last lap was a 1:12.739 for Cody Rivera.
Looks like Wyatt Roberts in the background just barely made it to start a lap as it looks like we have about 3 guys, give or take. They're going to have a last-second chance here to set a lap down, I believe.
Jordan Kuntz is coming down the pit road, so he looks like 1:10.609. Very easily could be the time to beat. Well, it will be the time to beat. Very easily could be the time that holds here. That's what I mean to say. Let's go to Rivera's. Do something. He's approaching turn 6.
You can tell he's really digging it. He's been sliding through some of these corners, really giving it all here. Here comes off the final corner here for his lap.
$1:11.532. Still a second slower. Jordan Kuntz fastest time.
I believe that's going to do it for qualifying as we have some death off track in turn 1 as it looks like Brett Bennett has died in the barrels.
I don't think It's going to be
Or
very easy to get his car out of there. He might have to Austin Powers it.
yeah, he'll just teleport out of there with magical wizard powers and grid up as I believe you have our starting lineup, Josh, for tonight's race here at Watkins Glen.
That I do. And starting on the pole, Jordan Coots. Cody Rivera's will start his outside. Third place, Andretti Robinson. Larry Miles will start fourth. Fifth will go to Wyatt Roberts. And Ollie Reeves starting sixth. Seventh, it is Devin Frank. Nicholas Borowski will start eighth. Ninth, Shaki Tarpley. And 10th, Philip Allen.
Starting 11th will be Cody Webster, and starting to his outside will be Broden Fleury. Zachary Wareham will be starting P13 with Brett Bennett starting 14th. Amir Bascombe will be starting 15th with Brad Swinski starting 16th. Michael Walls will be starting 17th tonight with Declan George starting 18th. And then rounding out our last row, we have Ellis Wells starting 19th, I believe, and Zachary Bonsack starting 20th. I believe, because they didn't set a lap.
Ellis Wells might be race control. Otherwise, that should be correct. Ellis Wells has been doing a great job being race control last few weeks. Things got pretty hectic. You know, we kind of brushed over that a little bit a few weeks ago, but you know, Ellis Wells stepping into that role as race control. Done a great job with that. I don't know. I don't see Wells on the grid, so I'm going to assume it's to be race control tonight. But, Mikey, let's go ahead and tell everybody our picks to win.
Well, I mean, just given how we've known how these road courses have gone this season, usually in most weeks I would say that's kind of low-hanging fruit to kind of go with this guy, but I feel like this week it's okay too, but please don't be a jinx here. I'm going to pick Cody Rivera to break through and win at Watkins Glen tonight.
You know, that was my thing. If you picked Jordan, I was going to go Cody. If you picked anybody that not named Jordan, I was going to go Jordan. Honestly, I think you've got, and I probably would have picked Cody. Honestly, I mean, both those guys have a case for themselves. Cody Rivera's, you know, he's had 2 races in a row where on road courses where he's not really been able to compete and try to be up there with Jordan Kuntz. Now, on the other hand, it doesn't even look like anybody can be with Jordan Kuntz. I mean, Kuntz has been on another level at every track we've been to, it seems like. But these road courses, the 2 that we've visited so far, Kuntz has been incredible. But you know what? I like your pick with Rivera's. I'm picking Kuntz just because we don't pick the same drivers, and I honestly think Kuntz could go 3 for 3 here on the road courses. But if there is anybody that can stick it to Kuntz tonight, it will be that 36 Cody Rivera's.
Yeah, I feel like we're definitely in for a heck of a battle. I mean, we saw kind of at the Roval and a little bit when these two had to fight through the field there, and they had to kind of rebound after a lap 1 spin here. As I guess coming into this restart, we should kind of be wary for how crazy the start of the race can be here. As last time we hit the road courses, Josh, we had a lap 1, turn 1 crash involving the top 3, and you got to keep that in mind here coming into tonight. If we might possibly see something similar to it, so you can't really rule out that it's going to be a sure and clean green start here.
You know, on the other hand, thinking about the Roval is, you mentioned they both had issues, Kuntz and Rivera's. Kuntz had less issues than Rivera's did. Rivera's was actually faster than Kuntz towards the end of it. It's just, it wasn't enough time. And it's going to be one exciting battle between the two as long as things stay clean. The pace car is in. We're getting ready for 150 kilometers here at Watkins Glen. Already tire spin. 42 Wyatt Roberts.
And and they're gonna fan out 3 wide as Webster spins to the grass. It's gonna pin into the field.
Huge troubles. Webster, George, Reeves, Miles, all of them involved.
Wow. And meanwhile, Kuntz and Rivera's were dicing it through the S's as Rivera's had to give up the lead to Kuntz, as somehow that did not warrant a admin yellow.
Yeah, there's another thing. We will not see yellows on road courses unless it is admin thrown, and it really has to be chaotic. That was something, that's for sure. We'll take a look back at the replay here in a moment. See here, Rivera's is still right there stalking Jordan Kuntz. But lap 1 finished. It will be Jordan Kuntz. Now here's the biggest test, and that is entering turn 1 at speed. And you know, this time doing so at full speed, and the front runners actually looks like everybody gonna get through just fine. Let's see if we can quickly take a look at what happened on that initial start of the race.
I think the one guy that I definitely feel really bad for in that was Larry Miles getting caught up in that. I mean, besides, of course, Kuntz and Rivera's have been the talk of the town, but Larry Miles especially has been a bit of a sleeper a little bit this year in the SAAC Coast to Coast Cup Series on road courses. He finished 3rd at Coda, I believe, and he just about almost won the Roval, and you definitely got a feel for Miles, as I'm pretty sure coming into tonight he was definitely looking for a strong performance, but definitely a disappointing start to this race, getting caught up in
we
the
have
incidents.
a caution.
A caution. I believe, Josh, that is the admin caution, as one guy came down pit road, and I don't think we should be surprised by who came down pit road, as it's, of course, Brett Bennett.
Now, if you can confirm for me, because I did not see a single thing on my track map to even remotely think that there was going to be something to cause a yellow. If you can confirm, does this go back to lap 1, turn 1?
Yes. Ellis Wells, admin for this race, he scheduled that we were going to throw the yellow. He had a 80-second till caution monitor, and once it ticked down from 80 seconds to 0, he threw the yellow. I'm a little iffy on the details, but it was a planned yellow once the crash happened there. So we're gonna have the field kind of restacked here for this restart here, as we're just gonna see what happens here and who's gonna pit and who won't. As I think this actually might have an effect potentially on the fuel window, Josh, I believe, which I don't think we've talked about here.
Yeah, I don't know what the fuel window is here. I know under normal fuel capacity, when you're running NIS here, you have to make at least 1 pit stop, which could be about halfway, but I know this is not NIS rules, so, and this is actually a shorter race than what NIS would be also, keep in mind.
So, I checked kind of pre-race a little bit to kind of get a guess at what the fuel window would be, and it was about 32 laps, and that was a little bit of a stretch. 32 to about 31. 32 to 31, maybe 30. give or take. And this is a 38 lap race, and I think we might see some guys try to definitely stretch the fuel window. We might see guys definitely try to push it on fuel here, because it looked like if this went green, we were going to have some guys go really long here, because given the fuel window being just barely at 32 laps to 30. So this definitely makes this possibly a fuel conserving race potentially here going forward, given when the restart will occur, or if anyone will pit. But I don't see any guys pitting, as I don't believe pit road was open that time.
Kind of interesting.
Or we got people pitting. No, I think those were some of the guys involved, like Ali Reeves and Larry Miles, Brad Swinsky, and Cody Webster.
Well, we're under this caution. Just wanna point out, this week is a week that's ending a couple of seasons, or seasons. That is English sense. Tuesday night, a couple nights ago, Jawb Racing League crowned a champion, and surprisingly, it was not Jonathan Parker going for the three-peat. He had a sizable gap going into the race with points, but was caught up in two of the three cautions that we had, and both of them were very early on. Jonathan Parker was just continuing the race, trying to claw his way back up to the front, deal with damage, and so in the end, it ended up being Dylan Parker taking home the championship. In his second championship, the first one in 6 years, I believe. He said the last time he won a championship, he was 14 years old. He's 20 years old now, and that is just mind-blowing to me. But, so we had Dylan Parker become champion the other night. Tomorrow night, DN9 Designs NAOR Series. We're going to have a few drivers going for a championship in that one as well. And, it's not a Final Four situation. Again, Jawb, not a Final Four situation. Where points are tied. Right now, though, the points are super close. 2 points separate Hunter Peach and Nick Kapiak. John Parker also with a fighting chance to win the championship in that one, where he won the championship last season. So it's going to be interesting to see if he can pull any sort of redemption out. And we've got 3 races left in this season. Well, this one and 2 more here for the Coast to Coast Cup Series, guys. And I think we all know who the favorite is for this one.
Oh, I don't know who it could be. I don't know, Josh. I mean, we've had so many great talents, but I don't know. Is it really that guy that's been kind of running away with this, has been going crazy this season, Jordan Kuntz?
It might be. Jordan Kuntz, I mean, just incredible. He's been so incredible to watch. I know some drivers, some people honestly hate getting into a league and watching one person dominate. When you're other drivers, racing in a league where a guy like Jordan Kuntz is in here, really can be frustrating. But I'm kind of in the spot where, what can I learn from watching Jordan Kuntz? Try to make me just a little bit better, And I hope a lot of guys that race in the SAAC Coast to Coast Cup Series feel the same. At least they're still showing up. And Kuntz, I mean, he's still beatable, despite the fact that he has 1 million wins on the season. he's still beatable. We've seen some incredible races where Kuntz has either just barely won or he's been fighting trying to.
Yeah, like for some of Kuntz's wins this season, they haven't been like wins where he's flat out dominated. He's had to fight back from adversity and actually like capitalize on things that weren't given to him.
Base car is in. We're going to restart once again. 32 laps to go here at Watkins Glen. Green flag is waving. Here we go. Treacherous turn 1.
A lot cleaner turn 1 that time by, as the top 2 have sorted themselves out, as everyone's trying to get single file very quickly here as they move their way through the S's.
Rivera's trying to stay within striking distance. A much calmer lap this time. Drivers have settled down. Got me that initial start out of the way. And Brett Bennett avoids the inside wall.
He's going to lose a ton of time there, as it looked like he just got loose off the final corner, and I think damage-wise he's okay, but definitely is going to lose a lot of time as one car spun. I believe Michael Wall spun going into turn 2.
Look, oh, we have it. Oh, a little contact there. Keeps it off the wall. This lead is heated. Rivera's is there.
Yeah, ever since the restart occurred, I mean, yes, Kuntz is definitely kind of taking the lead away, no question, and he's just a little bit better than Rivera's, but Rivera's hasn't quite let Kuntz out of his sight just yet. As Andre Robinson behind just about lost it off of 1.
Running on board with Cody Rivera's here. Just see him and Kuntz are even. Woo! Little bobble there. Bus stop. He's putting a little bit of a gap between himself and Rivera's.
Time by, Kuntz and Rivera's were just almost even. They almost ran very similar laps last time by, as it looks like Rivera's is definitely in Kuntz's tracks here, and it looks like they're almost identical pace-wise at this point. It's just a matter of Cody could potentially close the gap here on Kuntz as the run progresses or not.
Got a battle back here, 13th, 14th, and 15th. Larry Miles, Zachary Bobsek, and Ollie Reeves.
Yeah, I think these three guys back here, they're kind of pinned here because they probably suffered significant damage from the lap 1 incident, as I believe these guys are all just nose to tail right now.
Oh, Bonsacker up! Oh, he actually saves it. Oh, wow.
Brett Bennett might just need a underwear change after that one. That definitely looked scary to look at right there. And I thought we were about to see a virtual man die right there, but somehow we didn't.
You know what? Initially, iRacing showed damage on Bonsek's car. I think it was just Necco. I don't think they actually made contact. Because the damage appeared and then went away. So I think even Brett Bennett, I think his car will be fine. These two have not given up. Jordan Kuntz and Cutter Rivera's.
Meanwhile, on the back, Wyatt Roberts is going to try to make a pass here on Devin Frank, as they're going to be side by side through one, as Roberts looks like he's going to take it away from Frank.
Miles. Brad Swinski there, closing in on Ollie Reeves.
Reeves got a little wide there through the bus stop. That's going to allow Miles to close just a little bit here.
Andretti Robinson slow off of 6. Robinson was 3rd.
Looking back on it, Josh. Oh, it looks like he just looped it all by himself. It looks like he just looped it there in the braking zone. And the back end just stepped out from under him. It's going to give Nicholas Borowski 3rd place here. Oh! Well, meanwhile, up front, Cody Rivera's clipped the grass and just about had his life flash before his eyes as he just about went into the inside wall, but he keeps it going.
Oh, man.
And Jordan Kuntz just went way wide in the second to last corners. That's going to allow Rivera's to close in just a little bit here, as both our guys that are 1-2 here, they both had a little bit of a moment on their own. They're definitely going to have a bit of a slower lap time, but they're just, it looks like Kuntz couldn't just made a small little mistake that allowed Rivera's to kind of close in just a little bit after Rivera's near slip.
Rivera's is there, all over the back bumper of Jordan Kuntz.
We've seen basically ever since the restart here that it's been somewhat of a sizable gap, but this definitely looks a little closer than it has ever since the restart, as Really, I feel like Rivera's. I don't know. I mean, Rivera's is able to just keep up with Kuntz here a little bit, but he's just cannot quite get close enough, really, to kind of make a pass or a move here on Kuntz for the lead.
Tenth and a half faster for Rivera's that last time by.
Meanwhile, the battle for 7th, Shaki Tarpley and Andre Robinson battle as Andre Robinson's going to take away 7th place away from Tarpley through the S's here.
Go to Webster. Slow off turn 6. Webster caught the wall. His car might be struggling to turn. And Mikey.
Oh.
I think.
Oh.
Is he gonna park it? Yeah, he is. He's parking it. And say leaders are right there.
Yeah, that was definitely a little bit of a moment, but it looked like Webster knew his damage was too severe and just got out of the way, and looks like he might possibly park it here for the rest of the night, unfortunately, given the incident from lap 1, as he was just getting out of the way to not hinder this battle for the lead here between Rivera's and Kuntz.
Bonsack is stopped in between turn 1 and 2. I think they've just gotten on the gas too hard.
Meanwhile, our leaders, Rivera's and Kuntz, they're coming up across the lap car of Declan George, and they're catching him right through the S's here. And gotta wonder here how they're gonna approach this. As here they come off the S's, as Kuntz is gonna take a wide swing out to avoid George, as George gets out of the way for our leaders here.
When you're in a position like Declan George, it's so hard to get out of the way. Coming to a bus stop like that. So George, great awareness. Pulling all the way to the side. And slowing way down for them as Rivera's, it looked like he was just dirt tracking it through the carousel. Oh! Going Rivera's with a big send! That's going to cost him a big ton of time as he keeps it off the wall.
It's kind of hard to tell what happened. I think he might have just, I mean, it looked like he definitely missed his braking point there, but wow, I mean, just a very shocking turn of events right there, as Kuntz going to take the lead away here and have a huge gap now on Rivera's following. Rivera's just making the mistake of missing turn 1 there. That easily could have been really bad there, but somehow, some way, Kuntz avoided it just a little bit. Now he's got a lot of breathing room to work with after Rivera's mistake there in turn 1. Meanwhile, Kuntz just slid off the corner, off the second to final corner.
$20 to go. Rivera's, he has been faster than Kuntz. Can he be perfect the rest of the race? Flows back in on Jordan Kuntz. Remember, these guys are still going to have to make a pit stop.
Yeah, and I believe right now they're obviously well in the fuel window. I mean, we're just close to halfway, I believe, and we should be about the point where, I mean, we should probably see pit stops out of these two guys pretty shortly here, and throughout some of the guys in the field here. Or maybe, who knows, we might see some guys that might have pitted earlier in the race that had damage and may have potentially topped off fuel that might try to see if they could save fuel to the end. Like guys like Ollie Reeves and Larry Miles, who were down pit road earlier, that took fuel only, that are going to try to one-stop this. I wonder if they might try to just stay out here and try to see if they can make it on fuel. And also maybe Brett Bennett could also follow on that strategy, who also pitted before the caution came out earlier.
Couple things to point out. We are at halfway. 19 down, 19 to go.
Whoa, sorry to interrupt. Devin Frank just drove head-on to the turn 1 barriers, and Shockey Tarpley also missed turn 1. Sorry to cut you off there.
All good. See Devin Frank there. Shaq Tarpley followed him, but did not hit the barriers. Oh, yes. I remember what I was saying. Now, that last time by, Jordan Kuntz ran a 1:11.964. A 964 as opposed to a 2:18 out of Cody Rivera's. Rivera's closed in a ton. And Rivera's once again faster, but this time it is 0.2.
I mean, if I'm Cody Rivera's here and I'm thinking about when I'm going to make my pit stop here, I'm definitely going to make sure I maximize every part of it. Even this on how hard I push it on pit entry.
Goodness! Sorry, I was watching Tarpley. Tarpley and Fleury there. And Tarpley might have had better car control than what I saw, but it looked like he was about to come across Fleury's nose.
And they're still in their bumpers. Tarpley's all over the bumper. Fleury here at the bus stop. Wow, we're seeing some beating and banging out of these two here. It looks like Tarpley possibly... It looks like he's not letting Fleury get away here, as he might possibly use him up a little bit here shortly, if he can get to him.
Tell you one thing, I've been impressed with Fleury tonight so far. Still a long way to go, but based off his debut and last few races, the ovals really have just been a struggle for him. I see here, you know, in road class, he's D class. His road IR is 1,507, so it doesn't look like he has a ton of road under his belt, just based off what I'm seeing. But currently 7th place, holding on. Pretty impressed with this run so far out of Fleury.
I think another guy also that's also run pretty well here after looks like he's had some struggles lately also in the ovals is Philip Allen. He's running top 5 right now, and looks like if things go to par here, he might possibly get 4th. Is Wyatt Roberts the past few laps is past few corners been struggling a little bit, and Philip Allen's been reeling them in potentially here for P4, as Allen started 10th, and he's also been kind of making his way a little bit since the start of the race, and he might be looking for fourth here shortly if he can get closer to Wyatt Roberts.
Actually, and I'm glad you noticed that because I really I didn't even think about that for Phillip Allen. He's having a pretty impressive night. It's taking a lot out of me, though, Mikey, not to make a comment about his Purdue University scheme.
Oh, I believe so.
Phillip Allen, if you're watching. My team is the national champions. That's all. Great run tonight, though, regardless.
Hang on, he might actually have a shot here going into one as Wyatt Roberts is a little sideways off the final corner here as Allen's closing the gap a little more. Oh, he's definitely going to have a chance soon. I think Phillip definitely might get there to Roberts soon.
He's being patient, and I like that. You know, no need to push. 15 laps to go still, and you know, 15 laps doesn't seem like a lot, but a track like Watkins Glen, it's quite a bit still.
He's definitely noticing how much Roberts is sliding the rears and sliding off some of the corners here. He's definitely taking note of it and isn't trying to push the agenda. He's just trying to be patient here and just trying to let Roberts come to him here. I mean, he's definitely knows we have time here. He's got time. Phillip has definitely looked a little smoother through some of these corners here as Roberts is looking to go a little wide here as that's going to hurt his setup here into the final corner here as Roberts hits the corners as here comes Phillip Allen to pit.
Smart. Now, one thing I want to point out, it's not something we've talked about, is we have had a few drivers come down pit road already, Mikey, but, you know, these next-gen cars, you actually mentioned it earlier when we were in qualifying. The longer you go, the faster you get, which is just totally weird, but that is just how it is. And so, with that being said, you know, if I'm in this race, and I'm Phillip Allen, as you see, he fuel only, Shaq Tarpley, Amir Bascombe, Michael Walls all coming down pit road. Expect fuel only out of these guys because you're going to lose so much time taking. Well, Tarpley proved me wrong there. He's left side's up, but you're actually going to be slowed down. And not even just, you know, well, pit stop being quicker from fuel only. I mean, you're going to struggle on these fresher tires. I'm very curious how Shockey Tarpley's going to handle here. At least cold tires going to really hurt him. Jordan Kuntz is in.
Yeah, I was going to mention, Josh, our two leaders have come down pit road. They noticed Phillip Allen, or they must have noticed that Phillip Allen pitted and must have realized it's their cue as we saw Jordan Kuntz lock them up right at the pit entry as he definitely tried to get all of the gap he could as he's going to park it in his box here for fuel only here along with Cody Rivera's.
I do not see the lefts going up on Kuntz or Rivera's. Borowski, though, taking tires. It's Kuntz and Rivera's are off and away.
And Kuntz is going to get out pit road right in front of Zachary Wareham and Ollie Reeves, who is one of those guys that was down pit road getting not only repairs, but he must have topped off on fuel here. And I bet you, Josh, he might be one of those guys that potentially might try to stay out here to see if he could try to stretch the fuel here, but I don't know though. He might have to hold off, and a hungry Jordan Kuntz that looks like he is about to get right on by Zachary Wareham, and he sure does here through the carousel.
A little bit surprised to see Wareham racing tonight. We know he loves road courses. Shows up to a lot of them, primarily racer on Tuesday nights. But shows up every once in a while to other series for road courses. Where I'm coming into pit road now. So that just leaves Ollie Reeves out front. Well, Larry Miles, too, that has yet to come down pit road, but Reeves leading. Kuntz right there. 12 laps to go.
And unfortunately, Josh, a tough break for Phillip Allen, who we were just talking about, as Ollie Reeves lets Jordan Kuntz go for the lead here, as Phillip Allen has a black flag. He has to serve, unfortunately, for cutting the course. And we just talked about how he was having such a great run tonight. And unfortunately, it might just have gone up in disappointment here, as he's going to have to serve a black flag here. As unfortunately, his top 5 might be going out the window here, unfortunately.
He's a lap down as well. Something happened. Well, has he served his penalty already? I'm not sure, because I believe he came down 1 lap before Jordan Kuntz did, and I'm still seeing that he was down 1 lap before Jordan Kuntz was, so I'm not sure, but he is a lap down, so that tells me something else might have happened. Unless my telemetry is just completely wrong, which is possible. It has been wrong in the past. Multiple times. Jordan Kuntz coming off turn 7. He's going to see 10 laps to go here. And Miles coming down pit road. The gap between Kuntz and Rivera is 5 point something seconds, as it fluctuates all the time. But, you know, ever since Rivera's bobble, he had a few laps where he was much quicker than Kuntz. And ever since then, just has not been able to match the time or beat the time of Jordan Kuntz. Right now, 10 to go, 5 seconds behind. He needs to gain half a tenth every lap just to be up there with Kuntz. Okay, and I have a little bit of an update. There was an iRacing glitch. So Phillip Allen is still being scored in 6th place right now. Actually, if that's the case, he gets past Wyatt Roberts here. Is that going to put him in 3rd? So is he technically 4th right now?
I believe you're correct, Josh. I believe, yes, with his penalty cleared and if the admins do check it, yeah, he should be scored 4th right now. And right now, he's in familiar territory trying to get by Wyatt Roberts for P3 here in the closing stages of this race.
That's interesting. Great job by the admins. I mentioned earlier, LSML's been doing a great job. Else, if you are watching, keep it up. But, yeah, so I'm wondering, I mean, you know, iRacing shows him in 13th, so, sometimes there are weird iRacing issues where if you blink out, you cross the line, it will not count your laps. It'll think you're a lap down, even though you clearly did drive that lap. And yeah, it looks like we've got Road and flurry. Right off the carousel.
Looked like it just snapped around him there from the transition from once he got by the bumps off the carousel, and it just looped the car around. It's such a really not a very good spot, but luckily it was kind of out of harm's way a little bit, since pretty much mostly everyone that goes through there has to be, or is mostly below the yellow-red curbings there, as everyone got by and missed Road and Flurry's spin there.
Now, Robert's holding off Allen. Robert's having himself a pretty solid day as well.
Yeah, Wyatt's had a nice day of himself as well so far here. He's kept himself clean, and he's trying to hang on here for P3 here as Philip Allen hits the inside wall through the S's. That might possibly potentially hinder his car for a bit. So we don't know how substantial the damage is or if it's none at all, but Philip Allen took a hit through the S's on the wall, as that's going to hurt his progress a little bit trying to run down Wyatt Roberts here for P3.
Another close-ish battle. Larry Miles and Ollie Reeves. And great recovery out of both of these guys. I know it's definitely not the race that these guys wanted to have. Spending most of their time trying to recover. 6th and 7th out of these guys right now. And, you know, they're within close range of each other, where this could be a battle for 6th place here in the next couple of laps.
Yeah, I think I agree with you, Josh. Ever since these two have been caught up in the lap 1 incident, they really have not gotten away from one another. They've kind of been really nose to tail or within each other's line of sight, really, as they both come down the pit road to fix their damages, and they've just kind of really been right there with each other's. Reeves goes off track there on the exit of the S's.
So slightly. Allen's caught back in with Roberts.
Looks like that little slap that Philip got from the wall earlier might not have hurt him so badly, as he's definitely cutting the gap just a little bit on Wyatt Roberts for position here. Here comes the lap car of Declan George coming off the pit road, as Philip Allen had a huge wobble off of one. He keeps it straight.
Cost him a little bit of time, but there are 5 to go. See if Allen can do anything.
Oh, and Michael Walls is going to spin in front of our race leader, Jordan Kuntz. He's going to be parking it right in the middle of the exit. It's going to cost Kuntz some time as Walls gets out of the way.
Four to go. This battle between Allen and Roberts continues on. One thing that just interests me is the different lines they take going into one. But here we go. Allen is there. Oh!
And I think that might be it for Phillip Allen, possibly, as he has a meatball following that collision, as he's definitely going to have to take that thing down pit road now, and unfortunately, third place is going to go away here for Phillip Allen after a big hit on that outside wall going into the bus stop.
Allen will come down pit road.
Meanwhile, our race leader, Jordan Kuntz, is trying to navigate around lap car Brett Bennett here, as Bennett's going to give Kuntz the inside here. Well, oh, maybe not, as Kuntz is trying to make his way around to get to turn 2, or is trying to get to 2 to go, as Bennett finally yields and gives Kuntz the position off the final corner.
And 2 more for Jordan Kuntz. Locked up the tires a little bit entering 1. No harm, no foul, though.
He went a little wide, but lucky for Kuntz, though, he has a big gap to play with here, so he can afford a mistake here and there, but nothing crazy. Meanwhile, in the back, while that was going on, Ollie Reeves and Larry Miles were having a moment where Reeves went way off track, missing the second to last corner, allowing for Miles to get by him. As Miles also missed turn 1, as these two are going to be going head to head here, under 2 to go here. As it looks like Reeves definitely has closed in on Miles, following Miles' mistaken 1.
On one end of the track, these two battle. On the other end, you see Barney the Flagman waving that white flag one more time around for Jordan Kuntz. These two continue to battle as they're off the carousel.
Reeves is going to be all over Miles as he's going to send it into the final corner here, coming to the white as they're going to be side by side for position here. It's going to be a game of chicken here between these two.
Who outbreaks the other? Still side by side. Oh, come on, guys. Jordan Kuntz is about to hit the last corner. They're still side by side out of the S's. But checkered flag waving. Win number 9 on the season. It is Jordan Kuntz. What a dominant win.
Yeah, fantastic drive by Kuntz as the battle between Reeves and Miles still rages onward here, as I don't think this is going to be settled until they get to the line here, as Miles is nose to tail with Reeves as Miles goes wide, and here they come into the final 2 corners here.
Reeves just needs to make it through one more corner, but Miles gonna try to poke his nose there, maybe. Reeves goes wide, catches the wall, side by side, they touch! Miles sideways, Reeves in the wall!
Oh my goodness, what a battle! What a fight between those two. Oh my goodness, Stephen Frank. Oh, and here
And
comes Shocky
Tarpley.
Tarpley. Oh my gosh, what a battle between those two. And that was for 6th place right there.
And now Flurry.
Looks like a lot of the field is kind of piling in as here comes our race winner. Jordan Kuhn's going to park it on the front stretch here, right by the start-finish line.
And Declan George doing a donut around Jordan Kuntz. Let's go take a look at our unofficial race results, though, and it is Jordan Kuntz with the race win, 4.6 seconds over Cody Rivera's. Wyatt Roberts third, Andrea Robinson fourth, Nicholas Browski fifth, Ollie Reeves sixth, Larry Miles seventh, Zachary Wareham eighth, Ron Fleury ninth, and Amir Bascombe finishes in 10th.
Rounding at 11th, we have Brett Bennett, and right behind him, finishing 12th, is Michael Walls. P13 goes to Declan George with, at least iRacing scoring says so. Philip Allen 14th, but I think, actually, I guess it is 14th, but anyways, Devin Frank P15, Brad Savinsky comes home 16th. Shocky Tarpley comes home and finishes in 17th, and Zachary Bonsack finishes 18th, and rounding out the field, Cody Webster finishes tonight in 19th.
Let's go ahead and talk to our third place finisher. And hey, Wyatt, third place tonight. You had a pretty good race overall. A little bit of a battle there, though, towards the end with Philip Allen, I believe. But just walk us through how this race went for you.
Yeah, trying to keep it on the track, and that's what I did. I have decent pace here. I'm surprised I got third. Andretti was quicker. He had spun out, and Larry was even quicker than that, and he got in the lap 1 wreck. So I was able to keep it clean and was able to pass Borowski on because he took tires. And me and Philip Allen had a great battle. And then he hit the inside wall. But I taught him some stuff we practiced together earlier today, and we were very similar pace. He was on my tail within a second for probably 10 laps, and before the pit cycle, I mean, we were racing each other pretty good. And I mean, Cody and Kuntz, they're super amazing at road courses, so I'm happy to bring it home third, like best of the rest is what we call it, since they're so good.
Now, that lap 1, turn 1 incident, what was it like from your perspective as just, you know, it always seems like that's the scariest, getting through lap 1, turn 1.
So I was starting 5th place inside third row, and I was like, oh, well, the RPMs can say I can do first gear. So I tried first gear, got some wheel spin, made it 3 wide in the middle instantly before I even got to the line. But I think that saved me because it got me a row or 2 back to where I was behind the wreck, and I was able to slow down and avoid it on the right. I had plenty of space because most of the carnage was around where the curb was, and I was able to go down to the inside of the track.
All right, 2 races remain in this season before we head to the Super
Cup playoffs.
That's it. Yeah. Yes. So, what are you looking forward to in the next couple weeks?
Want to get 2 more good playoff finishes. My Pocono one, it looked super duper good, and I didn't have fuel to make it to the end after we got 2 or 3 green and white checkers. So I did awesome at New Hampshire with a 3rd place and a 4th place at Bristol. So my 3rd good points day of the playoffs. So hopefully I get 2 more. I mean, I definitely gained points, a couple points on Andretti, pretty good amount on Matthew Miles. So hopefully I should be like 4th in points maybe. I mean, I'd like to get top 4 though. I think 3rd or 4th would be a good place for me in the playoffs.
All right, sponsors, shout outs, who gets it done for you?
Gotta love running the Quaker Steak and Lube Chevy 42, the best number. Thank you to Side Draft Racing and all the boys there, Larry Miles, Brett Bennett, and Traber Burns. Traber Burns hasn't been able to make the last few, but hope to see him soon. And then Philip Allen, he was in the voice chat today. So thank you to my dad and my grandma who watch all the races live on JCTV. And thank you to JCTV for broadcasting all these awesome SAAC races for us all to rewatch and watch live. So it's awesome. Thanks to SAAC hosting these races. Been racing since 2018, back in the GTA days. So awesome group of people, and I love being here to race with them.
All right, congrats on the podium, and we'll see you next week.
Thank you.
And Wyatt Roberts, 3rd place finisher. You know, Mikey, one thing he said is 42 is the best number. I didn't say it, so it's not biased if it comes from me. I have to say, I agree with him, though.
Yeah, I mean, I can't argue that. I mean, if you're not the only one saying it, and other people are saying it, I mean, I think you make a strong argument that the 42 is the best number. I mean, Jackie Robinson didn't wear 42 for no reason. I mean, I'm pretty sure Wyatt Roberts doesn't drive the 42 for no reason. I'm pretty sure that you don't drive the 42 for no reason. I think you definitely are making a great point about the 42, Josh.
Yeah, or Jackie Robinson made it look really good. Wyatt Roberts makes it look really good. Unfortunately, here lately, it's not looked really good with me. But we got some more interviews to go. So I believe you have caught up with Cody Rivera's.
As I have indeed caught up with our 2nd place finisher for tonight, Cody Rivera's. Cody, just kind of take us through a little bit for your race tonight here at Watkins Glen, and just kind of walk us through really what you could have done differently to try to keep close with Kuntz there.
I think the one thing I could fall asleep that one lap. That was pretty much the difference in the race. I lost 5 seconds. I lost by 4.6. You know, I got the slowdown on top of that as well, so it was pretty much that. I think, I don't know how it looked on stream, but Brendan and I were pretty much the same pace for the first 20 or so laps, and then I made that mistake and, you know, just had to avoid him, to not take him out, because obviously wouldn't want to do that. And then, you know, I fell back 5 seconds. I closed up a little bit. We pit together. He pulled away in the pits, and then we kind of just stayed the same distance apart. It was one of those things, like I couldn't make any mistakes, and I made one. And that's all it took.
Well, this is the 2nd week in a row for you finished 2nd here. What do you need just next week at Texas Motor Speedway to finish one spot better and be able to find yourself in victory lane following these past 2 weeks of coming home in 2nd?
I think if Jordan Kuntz's house got EMP'd, I'd probably have the best chance that I would have. But no, he's good, but he's not unbeatable. So I just gotta, you know, have a clean race, not make any mistakes, and not get affected by anyone else's stuff. But you know, 2nd place is fine, especially against a guy that good. You know, just hats off to him. He's fantastic. I don't really hop on iRacing outside of our one night per week that we race. So to be able to hang with a guy like that, I'm pretty proud of myself. Obviously wanted to be one spot better, but you never know. Maybe the cards fall my way next week.
Well, a great result nonetheless, though. Of course, not what you want, but a second place. Who you gotta thank or shout out for your showing tonight? Sponsors, teammates, shout outs, sponsors.
Yeah, shout out to the teammates at Calaveras. Shout out to the boys in SAAC, especially the guys that have been racing with us for years at this point. It means a lot to me. I know it means a lot to them that we're still able to do this. And, we just keep having fun week in, week out. And then shout out to JCTV for putting on a fantastic broadcast every single week. And I look forward to watching it this evening.
Thank you. That is our second place finisher for tonight, Cody Rivers. Thank you, Cody.
Thanks, guys.
As Josh, I believe you are down in Victor Lane with our race winner, Jordan Kuntz.
I feel like we just need to get him a permanent spot here, and maybe pitch a cot somewhere in the back so he can sleep here, because I think he feels home right here. As this is his 9th win of the season. Jordan, man, I really need you to feed me some secrets here.
I think the secret is to lose a lot in the beginning and learn from that, and just to improve on every time you come to a race. Take out stuff you did wrong from every single race. I've done a lot this season of mistakes that I wanted to smooth out, and I feel like I keep doing that every time I do a race in here, and the wins keep coming because of all this improvement.
It's been incredible. You have officially swept the road courses, 3 for 3 this season on them, and it's been an incredible season overall. Just regardless of where these guys go, it's no doubt right now you are championship favorite. But despite that, going into these races, still having pressure. Cody Rivera is being right there with you for so many laps. How do you just deal with the pressure of trying not to make your own mistakes, like what unfortunately Rivera's did?
I think I just don't really try to push it too hard. Just drive to your best ability. I feel like whenever he was behind me, I was pushing a bit too hard, and that he was really benefiting from being behind me, whether it because of draft or that he could see where I was braking and do a bit of trail braking. And he was a bit quicker than me just because he was behind me, I feel. And once he did make that mistake, I felt like it was a lot easier, whether it was me making or figuring out a line in the last 2 corners, or him just not having the draft or braking marker of me. Definitely was not the easiest of races from for the first half of it with him right there. Just like it has been for like all these other road course races, there's always someone right there that if I make one mistake, I wouldn't win. But yeah, I think what it came down to was just not making a big mistake.
We have 2 races left in the season. In this season, at least, what are you looking forward to just in these next couple weeks?
I think what I'm looking forward to is the final race at Nashville Super Speedway. That is one of my favorite tracks on iRacing, and I guess concrete tracks are my favorite, and yeah, it's a concrete track. I always seem to do better at concrete tracks than others, and definitely will try to put in my best performance for last.
Alrighty. Well, sponsors, shout-outs, once again, who gets it done for you?
I'd like to shout out everyone who makes this league possible. You for doing the broadcast every week. It's always quite entertaining to go back, see what happened through the race, and not just from where I am on track, and it always brings entertainment. And I'd like to shout out my papa for always watching me. I'm glad that I could get a 9th one on the season for him, and yeah, just thanks to everyone who makes this possible.
Alright, well, congrats on another one. It's such an incredible season, Jordan.
Thank you.
And that was our race winner, Jordan Kuntz. Mikey, he just will not slow down.
No, he just won't. He's really just kind of that guy, really. Like he's definitely been on a tear this season. There's no question. It's just, I mean, you just gotta wonder here with these final two races coming up here at Texas and Nashville if anyone's gonna try to have a say in these final two races here. Anyone's gonna try to step up and take one away from him and try to win one here. But we'll just have to wait and see.
It's going to be interesting for sure. And, I'm looking forward to what's upcoming. We've kind of mentioned it just a little bit there at the end in my interview with Wyatt Roberts. But, the Super Cup Championship that they've got, that's literally going to follow immediately after Nashville Super Speedway. The week after, that'll be the 4 weeks after that, and I meant to have the graphic up for you guys, but it didn't want to work properly, and if I could find it, I can tell you guys. So, June 6th, these guys will have 134 laps at Las Vegas. Then June 13th, how about this? Road Atlanta. 37 laps around Road Atlanta. I don't even know if I have ever called a race at Road Atlanta before, even been in Road Atlanta on sim before. That is going to be exciting. Then June 20th, we've got Auto Club. 100 laps around 2 mile D-shaped oval. And how about finish off the Super Cup? June 27th at Homestead, Miami Speedway for 134 laps around that one. Basically, the way it works, drivers will start with bonus points based off their finish in Season 1 and Season 2. And combined standings as well as wins, stage wins, and championships from the previous 2 seasons. Each race will have increasing multiplier as the races progress. So race 1, it's going to be 1.5 points. Race 2, 2 times the points. Race 3, 2.5 times the points. In race 4, it'll be 3 times the points. With a prize pool of $300 being split among the top 4 finishers. Still, a lot of racing coming up. Despite the fact that this season is coming to an end, there's still weeks of SAAC racing going on. So things are getting excited. We're about to watch a whole lot of money be passed out and crown not 1 but 2 champions here in the next several weeks, just here in SAAC alone. Tomorrow night, speaking of crowning champions, tomorrow night, the Guy 9 Designs NAOR Series, we will crown a champion. It's going to be Playoff Peach, Hunter Peach, after winning the first 2 races in the playoffs, or chase rather, for NAOR. Nick Kapiak, 2 points. So what separates him and Hunter Peach. Could it be Cole Snyder, who I believe actually took 3rd place in the points? Jonathan Parker still has a fighting chance as well. It's going to be pretty exciting to see how that race plays out. I'm not good at quick math, but I'm telling you, we're going to try our best to keep everybody updated as far as what points go. The easiest thing is if Hunter Peach is out front, then, I mean, there's really no math needed. He's got it, but it's going to be a whole lot of fun. So you're going to want to tune into that one to see who takes home that championship. And still plenty of action coming up, as always, right here on JCTV that you're not going to want to miss. And, head on over to jctvracing.com to find out everything that's upcoming or in the past. Maybe you want to find some stats, whatnot, on a series. It's a good place to go to, for sure. A lot of fun things coming up, though. So, Mikey, thank you so much for joining me once again. It's been a fun season calling these races with you. And, I mean, just thanks to all the fans watching, the drivers, the admins. This series is a whole lot of fun to call. That's for sure. And on behalf of Michael Kruger and the entire outstanding crew at JCTV, I'm Joshua Coppernoll. Signing off, saying so long, stay safe, and we will see you next time.